Um, Namaste. So, today I would like to talk about this coronavirus. Actually, they have termed it the uh, the novel coronavirus. And now that indicates so novel um, phonetically can be noble as well. And corona means the crown in both Spanish and Latin. So it's the noble crown virus. So, hmm. So let's see who or what is the crown. Um, is it the Queen of England or is it the Pope? Because the Pope is both the king and the religious preceptor of Christians around the world. Or is the crown um, an alien entity? By the look of things, I don't think it's the Queen of England or the Pope. They are both subservient beings to this entity who is supposedly the crown that is ruling this fake world. Uh, Fake because it's mind created. It's using the human imagination to amplify lies in all fields and all walks of life. So the crown is an alien entity that wants to control humanity. In fact, it wants to control all earthlings using its draconian laws. Laws which are anti-nature, laws which are anti-human, and laws which are basically anti-life. Because we come here as conscious entities that do not have a shape or form. It's just what is known as the Atman or spirit of an entity is it's tasteless, touchless, invisible. You can't hear it, see it, feel it until it gets a human body, which is basically the space suit that the Atman occupies, the consciousness or the divine awareness occupies for a certain length of time, which I term body time, because there is no such thing as lifetime, because the Atman, the spirit, is eternal and immortal. So in this body time, in the human form on our earth, there is this draconian alien being, and it's like that are behind this COVID-19 virus. So, yes, that's right, folks. I mean, the aliens have already declared war upon humanity. That's how I see this so-called viral attack. So, because as they say, fear is your greatest enemy. And fear paralyzes, and fear makes you unable to think clearly. So that's what's happening. And so that's the first point. Okay, maybe I will get into more detail later in this podcast. What I want to talk about is, first let's look at this so-called virus. Okay. Now you must have noticed that along with the virus came the sanitizers, the hand sanitizers that you supposedly should use every 5 minutes. Now, you have come from birth up to whatever age you are right now. Maybe you are in your teens, maybe in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 80s, 90s, doesn't matter. I am pretty sure as a human being, that you have been taught and you have learned to keep your hands clean before eating and to keep your hands clean most of the time. So where does this hand sanitizer come from? So one, it's going to make mega bucks for the pharmaceutical industry, or should we call it the Harmaceutical Industry? Or is it the Pharma industry? So these are the farmers, and humanity is supposedly the cattle. That they're farming. So all of a sudden, along with this so-called virus, comes this hand sanitizer. So one has to look into that, yeah. So if you look into the etymology of the word virus, around the 15th century, virus used to mean the poisonous sap of a plant or a sticky, gooey, poisonous substance. Okay. So now, look at this hand sanitizer. It is sticky and gooey. And if you compare it to natural smells, like the smell of rose water, for example, you will see that it doesn't smell natural. In fact, it's not something that you can inhale for even 5 minutes continuously before you either vomit or it gets very repugnant for your system. So now, maybe if you put two and two together, that very hand sanitizer that they're promoting as the antivirus or as a preventative measure for this, for the coronavirus, is the cause of the flu or flu-like or pneumonia-like symptoms that supposedly come from this virus. So that's one thing I would like you to look into. Why not wash your hands with regular soap and water? And there is no purifier better than water anyway. If you look at the purifying qualities of water, unless your hands are greasy, or you've just worked in your garden, or you worked in your farm, you don't even need soap to clean your hands. Just water does the job for normal hands. Suppose you're using a computer keyboard and typing something, and if you just wash your hands with water, you should be perfectly fine. But anyway, you can go ahead and use soap. In India, actually, the best hand cleaner, according to Ayurveda, is ash. Yeah? That is, that comes from burning logs of wood in fire. So you just take a little bit of ash and you rinse your hands and wash your hands with the ash, and your hands are super clean. Just letting you know about that. So that's one thing. Okay. So I would like you to think about that. Now the second thing is that this CGI drawing, CGI cartoon that you're seeing of the so-called coronavirus actually resembles a naval mine unit, a naval underwater mine. And the second thing it resembles is pollen. Okay, so let's look into pollen. Now we have spring approaching, so a lot of flowers are in bloom, and both garden flowers and fruit tree flowers, and bees are busy distributing this pollen, and it's one of the causes that we know that causes flu or the common cold like symptoms every spring, or whenever there is a change of season and pollen is in the air, it causes this cold-like symptoms. So now, so if a grain of pollen looks like this so-called coronavirus under the microscope, and what are the chances then that this grains of pollen gets into our bloodstream, then somehow whatever hokey tests that they do to detect this virus or this strain of virus, supposedly this grain of pollen shows up under the microscope, whatever it is, regular microscope, electron microscope, scanning electron microscope, doesn't matter, and then they tell us that this is the virus, whereas the actual reason is that your body's immune system is maybe a little bit weak. Maybe it's just adjusting to the new change of season. And one thing about a cold is that it's detoxifying, so a lot of toxins inside your body come out through the mucus, and because in the modern world people hardly sweat, so the body cannot detoxify through sweat, so cold, and then the body also uses excretion and urination as elements of detoxifying the body. So what if the cold that you're getting is just the body eliminating the pollen that's just flying in the air because of the season, and it's just trying to cleanse the body, not only of pollen but of other toxic material that accumulates in your body from the chemicals in our food, from alcohol, from smoking, the nicotine and other chemicals that they put in cigarettes like tar, etc. What if that's the case? What if it's just the body trying to adjust and adapt to the new season, and it's just trying to detoxify itself, and along comes with these bunch of know-it-alls, so-called experts. And someone said that an expert is somebody who knows more and more about less and less. So they do not have a holistic view of either the human body or a holistic view of our correlation with nature, or coexistence with nature. In fact, modern science's whole illusion is that the human being is somehow separate from the environment and from nature. Whereas the truth is that we are very much an intrinsic part of nature. We are the children of our earth, and the human body is composed of the 5 elements, 5 basic elements, which is the earth, water, fire, air, and ether or space. So since we are composed of the 5 elements, we are pretty much a part of this whole system. So the system or nature is very benevolent to us, actually. It is not trying to kill us. It is the separation that I think a lot of people are thinking, it's Mother Nature trying to kill us all because we have been very bad and whatever, yada yada, polluting the environment and causing all sorts of trouble. What if the truth is that it's an alien invasion, and they're using our dummy scientists
and the mediocre media. Okay, that's the other thing. The media is full of mediocre people, and media and medicine. Look at the similarity in those two terms, and medicine. So and we very well know that wealth or lucre or money influences most of the people in both these industries, whether it's the media or the medicine industry. So what if they just are under orders? Not all, but the controllers of the pharma business, the head honchos, have been, and the head honchos of the media have been directed by this alien entity to cause this panic, citing this coronavirus as the reason for, as an exterminating factor for all of humanity. So everybody, and it's created this pandemonium, yeah, pandemonium, pandemic, So I would suggest you should look into this. Yeah, and I don't want to continue for long, but I will have another podcast coming up soon. And also, I would like to tell the reason why I don't turn the video on is because I would just like you to pay attention to the words. You can just keep your phone down, relax, and just listen to my podcast. Because I do feel that a YouTube video is distracting, especially when there is no need for graphics at this point in time. So anyway, I wish you good health and happiness, and wish you all the very best that life has to offer. And I will definitely discourage you from worrying about this COVID-19, and rather use this whatever period of this lockdown, if you are under lockdown or otherwise, to actually research into what's actually really going on, because there is one version that the mediocre media creates, and then there is one version happening behind the scenes. So I would urge you to look behind the scenes. Looking behind the scenes is also a part of being spiritual, because it's like looking at the projector and not at what is being projected. So thank you, and wish you a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be. Namaste.